mean,
where should he play?
Well, listen, I think he should stay put.
Season?
I think he should stay put. I think Durant's hurt his legacy, and I think he's hurt his credibility by bouncing around every time he turns around. Things get a little tough. He wants out. That's what the New York fan feels right now. So I think that Durant should actually come back and say, you know what, my fault. I want to stay here. I've been bouncing around long enough. It's time for me to make a commitment to the Nets. That's what he should say. Now, whether he says that remains to be seen. I've said this all along, and I don't know enough.
He did deal with a lot, Mad Dog, though. Come on. He dealt with a lot this year.
Well, what did he deal with?
With the Kyrie stuff.
Bottom line is he's making $40 million a year, guaranteed contract.
No, but he had a part-time teammate.
Well, I mean, I understand. Well, I mean, it's not going to be that much better. You said, Green, it's not always better
You're
on the other side of the
You got to water it. Water it.
How do you, whatever you said. It was
Grass
fun.
isn't always greener on the other side. Sometimes it's greener where you water it.
So that's why I think he'd be better off staying put. And if Irving has to stay there, fine. I can understand that, too. He's not going to play in Phoenix. I don't think that trade's happening. I don't think he's going to Miami. I don't think that trade's happening. I think the team that I could see, and I don't know about the salary cap. That's not my expertise. But the team that I could see where he would be somewhat reasonable about going there, and the Nets could get a big player back and build their team around, and it's out of the conference, which I think is a factor, are the Pelicans. Because they can get Ingram back, and they can build their team around Ingram, and he would play in New Orleans. They got a lot of young players, and they got Williamson. And they could be very, very good. They made the playoffs last year. They knocked the Clippers out. You put Durant in that team, and I know that Ingram's great, but Durant's better. You put Durant in that team with a healthy Zion, that team could be very dangerous. Now, I don't know if he wants to play in New Orleans. I don't know if the Pelicans want to make that trade and give up all that age, because Ingram's a heck of a lot younger. But that's a trade I could see the Nets thinking about, because then they can build their team around Ingram, who is a big-time NBA player. He's a 15 to 20 player right now in the league, and I love him. I could see that. Now, could I also see him going to the owner and say, you know what, I rescind, I want to be here? He's also going to give a little mea culpa to the fans. He's got to say, you know what, my apologies, I'm committed to the Nets. He's got to do that to the fans. But I think right now those are the two spots, Nets or Pelicans.
You just said a whole lot right there.
I always do.
Perk, please respond. And by the way, I love that you take notes on a newspaper. It's hilarious. Only person still in America.
Old school.
Oh, my gosh. I'm with it. Big Perk, unpack it for me. That was a lot for me to take.
That was too much, and Mad Dog came on to the show this morning straddling the fence. He did not want to answer the question direct. Okay, first of all, if I'm the New Orleans Pelicans, I am not making that deal for Kevin Durant. I'm keeping my young core, Brandon Ingram, who haven't even scratched the surface of his prime, along with you just signed the extension of Zion Williamson. He's going to come back healthy. You got C.J. McCollum. You got all these other defenders and Herbert and all these other guys that's defending around the wing. Willie Green has done an exceptional job of actually building the culture there. I would not mess it up by bringing in a 34 Kevin Durant when you can't trust him. That's the problem with KD. You can't trust him. You don't never know what's going on in his mind. You don't never know what he's thinking. And that's a problem if you're an organization that's investing a lot into Kevin Durant. Now, here's the thing. KD, I think he has to stay in Brooklyn at this moment. I think Brooklyn is the best option for Kevin Durant because Phoenix door is closed. You can't get DeAndre Ayton. You can't get Devin Booker. You can't get the pieces that you want to make it happen. And if KD go to the Phoenix Suns, guess what? You're not going to have enough to get out of the Western Conference, let alone win the championship. But I think he should run it back. I think he should have a coming to Jesus meeting with his quote-unquote brother and Kyrie Irving. I think they should hash things out. I think they should, get together, find out what's going on with Ben Simmons and what his mindset is. And I think they should start the season with that miniature or whatever you want to call it, big three. That's a hell of a big three, and that's a hell of a starting point. Here's the thing that I have a concern about. We keep talking about where KD should play next season. We should talk about if the Lakers should try to trade for Kyrie Irving. I'm going to harp on this again on First Take for Molly and Mad Dog. What in the hell are the Brooklyn Nets going to do with Steve Nash? Steve Nash has not done a damn thing since he has taken over the job of the Brooklyn Nets. And I mean nothing. Nothing. Did you see the series last season against the Boston Celtics? I mean, listen. He could not make no adjustments whatsoever. They got swept. And every single year, for some strange reason, he's shuffling his assistant coaches. His assistant coaches are going elsewhere. This guy's getting fired. Now they're bringing this guy in. To me, it's more than just Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving that need to be, need to be addressed when it comes down to the Brooklyn Nets. Steve Nash and Sean Marks also need to be addressed. But if I'm Kevin Durant, I come back to the Brooklyn Nets and I try to run things back with Kyrie Irving and a refreshed, rejuvenated Ben Simmons.
Wait, let me just say one thing before you jump back in. Big Perk, who do you think would be a good fit at coach and who the players would want?
Well, you know what? I mean, you got to look at a guy like Sam Cassell. How about a guy like Phil Handy, who Kyrie Irving wants on the staff anyway? How about David Vanderpool? How about Rex Kamanian? I kind of get his name wrong, but Coach Rex, shout out Coach Rex, my guy down in Detroit. Like, they have long-time assistants, Molly, that have been sitting and serving on these benches for 10 to 15 years that are certified. Phil Handy is a 3-time NBA champion. Phil Handy, when Kyrie Irving and Phil Handy was together in Cleveland, he got the best out of Kyrie Irving consistently. We just saw Kyrie Irving at his basketball camp in Phoenix.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.